I'm very quick to jump on the bandwagon and criticise Blizzard, especially when it comes to Cataclysm. And that's mainly because I, like many of you, probably feel like they've kind of slacked a little bit, but I would say they're actually starting to pick their game up a bit. And it's just small examples like what they've done with Hallow's End, where the data mined items, or the items that were even just in the database on the PTR, were 353 that were going to be coming from the Headless Horseman. Well, they put that up to 365, which actually makes it a lot more relevant. Now, while we don't know exactly what item level we're going to be getting from Inferno dungeons, after a discussion on stream last night, I believe it was actually, we kind of feel like it's going to be 359 gear, so normal tier 11 gear that you're going to get from the dungeons themselves, but then the currency that's going to drop because the currency vendor's actually on the PTR at the moment, but you just can't see any items on it. They're probably going to be the 372 items. And I think that makes sense. That's personally what I would do. I guess we've only got a couple of days tops to wait, and we'll probably find out on the PTR ourselves anyway. But the fact that they put the items up to 365 for Hallow's End is a really good thing, and as someone who's actually coming back and re-rolling, so when I say coming back, I've still been playing Cata, but just not as much as I would like because I've been spending a lot of time on retail. But that's changing, of course, because with Firelands on the way, I'm going to be wanting to gear up as many characters in Firelands as possible and ultimately get the staff on something. But I'm re-rolling, so I'm going Elemental Shaman. And before you start crying out, oh, it's so you can get the legendary staff on it, yeah, that is actually right. But I've got many 85s on Cataclysm across multiple accounts, and the level in the Shaman has been the one thing that's been putting me off. But with Hallow's End, the worst level, as we all know, is to get from 84 to 85. And to be fair, anything from 83 onwards, I say, it slows down massively. But if you plan on getting the Hallow's End achievement, so the achievement specifically where you're going around and getting all the candy buckets in each of the different continents, then you should absolutely be doing this on an alt, and I've made it really easy for you as well. Now, I don't know if you've already found a version of Handy Notes that works, or even an add-on like Candy Buckets that works, but me personally, I tried a weak aura from Wrath, but of course it doesn't show all of the Cataclysm ones because they actually more or less doubled the amount of these candy buckets that you can get in each of the old zones as well. I couldn't get any of the add-ons to work, and I couldn't get Handy Notes to even show anything relevant on my map, so I don't know if they've just not been updated or I'm using a wrong version, I don't know, but instead I thought I'd just do it myself. And by do it myself, I don't mean just aimlessly fly around the map. I mean, I dug out all the coordinates from various old historic Wowhead posts, compiled them all into one place where there'll be a link in the description below, and then just followed a green arrow around. I would say you can get a couple of levels, maybe even 3 levels on lower level characters, like I was testing it on the Rogue, who was in his 60s just in Outland. Obviously going to be a lot slower on that because I wouldn't recommend doing this unless you've got epic flying, or you're just going to use the actual flight paths, fly to one, go AFK, or alt-tab onto a different game or something, collect the candy bucket, then get on a flight path again. But if you're actually going to fly around yourself, you really want to be doing this with epic flying just to make it that bit quicker. But I'm getting just shy of 50k per bucket on the Shaman, which is not far off of actually completing a normal quest. And all I'm doing is just flying around, doing something that I will do anyway, because I want to actually start getting achievements on Cata, because I've been slacking in that department. So why would I do the achievements on an 85 when I can actually do them on something that I want to level? Now, I've put this document together, which I will put a link in the description below. I can't say that I've tested all the Alliance ones because obviously I've just been doing it on my Shaman, and on the Shaman everything seemed fine so far. There's only one thing you need to look out for, and that's Outland, because it actually shows 15 total waypoints when you only need 14, but that's because one will be for Aldor and one will be for Scryers. But basically the first section of the document just tells you which add-ons you're going to need, and you don't necessarily need paste, but I use paste because then you can put all of these waypoints in one go. But you're basically going to have paste, you're going to have TomTom, which is going to show you a green arrow, and you're going to paste the waypoints in and then follow the green arrow. The only couple of things that you're going to want to do is, firstly, to actually open paste, you need to type /paste show. This is where you'll then paste the data in. Then you're going to want to type /TomTom to go into the settings, and then just make sure that you've got automatically set to next closest waypoint ticked, and also allow closest waypoint to be outside current zone. And then look on your map, literally select whatever the closest one to you is, and then let it do its thing. From there, you can just follow the green arrow around and yeah, literally just, it makes it so easy. Now, for those of you that done it back in Wrath or something like that, where you've already got like half of them, then you'll just have to deselect the ones that you know you've already got. But this is more for someone that's not done it before or just wants an easy way to get a level, because again, 84 to 85, all you've got to do is maybe go and start Oldham at 84, do a little bit there, and then start collecting all of these buckets, or even do the dungeons once each just for the quest, and then collect all of these buckets, and jobs are good 'em. Also, while you're going around, make sure that you're grabbing the apple bobs as well, which are next to the buckets, because I know it's not major, but it is free food at the end of the day for an extra click, and it's going to give 3% health and mana per second for 25 seconds. Another minor thing is make sure that you're constantly opening the handful of treats, because if you've already got one in your bag, you won't be able to loot another one. The same goes for the masks. They are unique, so if you get a duplicate mask, you're going to have to delete the mask that's already in your bag before you can loot the new one. I don't really want to drag it out any longer than that, because it took me long enough to actually double check most of these waypoints, because a lot of the zone names had changed, like Storm Peaks became the Storm Peaks, the Barrens became Northern Barrens, so there was a lot of messing about changing text around. But if you do have any issues with any of the waypoints, let me know. The only thing I will say is I have heard that there are a couple of buckets that are bugged anyway, nothing to do with the sort of way that we're going to be going around and getting these. And I think one of them in particular was in Arathi Highlands, but it might have been fixed by now. And that's it. Just an alternative way to get a level or two, or depending on your level, even maybe upwards of 3 levels, and it is pretty quick. And again, if it's an achievement you're going to do anyway, you might as well do it like this. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.